All right, welcome to the lifestyle segment. And we're going to have a conversation this morning with Mr. Bernie Osei-Duah, and he's going to help us to understand resolutions for the new year. This is something that always challenges a lot of us, and we write all kinds of fantastic resolutions, and at the end of the year we're wondering how much of it we achieved and all that. But we're going to focus this specifically on resolutions for single men and women. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning, David.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Fantastic. I'm really good. Thank you. So, resolutions for the single man and single lady. Why are we focusing on them as a group, as a particular specific group?
First and foremost, compliments this season to all your viewers, and thanks for having me once again. Basically, when we talk about resolutions, it's a firm decision that one takes for whatever reason they want to achieve what they set themselves out to. So for you to be resolute, it means that you've firmly taken a decision. Now, the reason why maybe the focus today is for young people is, see, marriage has blessings that comes with it, but of course also some limitations. Because immediately you get married and you're covenanted, you're off the market. And anytime you're about to make certain decisions, you don't only think about you, because you need to consider your partner, and if you've got children, and so on and so forth, and other families that comes to play when you're married. But when you're single, you have the liberty to be able to take certain decisions without the worry of a married person. And as a single person, it's ideal to understand these liberties and the decisions you make today. You see, the average person makes about 300 decisions in a day. People in prison makes only 8 decisions, because all the decisions about life is made for them. What they eat, they don't decide. They can only choose whether to eat it or not. Where they sleep, what time they sleep, they don't decide. Someone does. But when you are single, you have the liberty to be able to decide all these things and more. And this is why our focus is on the single today.
So what are some of the decisions we're looking at?
Okay, so the first one I really want to share is about health. I think that there are 2 most important decisions that God made about everyone. First, the womb through which you come to the earth. Secondly, is the life that He gave you. And when you have that, there is one thing that is important in this life, which is health. It doesn't matter the dreams and the aspirations you carry. When you don't have the strength towards your dream, it means nothing. You can have the brilliant test, forgive for my own choice of word, all right, the most brilliant idea the world has seen. But when you don't have the strength towards that dream, it means nothing. Health is one of the things that a lot of us take for granted. Today, many of us boast about how I've never been to the hospital for 20 years and how strong I am. And one bad thing is that there are a lot of things that can go wrong in my system but never shows until it's too late. And having a plan to have regular checks, and I'm telling you, many people that I've had the privilege to speak to today concerning what they would have loved to change if they had opportunity to go back in the years. One of the things is being able to have a proper plan. Even cars have a maintenance plan that by a certain period, no matter the condition of the car, take it in, do the maintenance, have the service done on it, so that you can be guaranteed that at least it will be better in your journey. But when a human being can, and people post about it a lot. I've never been to the hospital for 20 years. That's how strong I am. And it's actually fascinating. People have discovered they had cancer over 20 years, only to discover that it's too late. If they had done this earlier, it would have been better. And talking about health, it's ideal for you to understand that eating healthy becomes part of it. Let me share this. Growing up, I came to learn that for you to see that you're having a good life, whatever you're eating, have a cold one with it. So we love a lot of cold drinks, a cold beer, a cold this and that. Then someone opened my eyes to something very interesting. When you eat, I love fufu, so I would do it maybe once a week or every 2 weeks. When you eat fufu, maybe with goat soup, Take your hand out of the soup.
Good combination.
Good combination. Yeah. I know you love it. We should have one of those days.
Definitely.
When you take your hand out of the soup, pour cold water on it. That is the exact thing that happens to your traps.
Okay.
When you drink cold water after drinking or eating anything like that, it's ideal. When you watch the Chinese, they do a lot of tea at the table. Later on, of course, they can have their cold drinks and this and that. All right, so there are certain habits we were taught growing up, and one of them is doing this kinds of thing. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Plan your life in a way that will let you live longer to complete your purposes and vision in life. Okay. So the first thing I really want to talk about, to single people is the health. Take your health very serious because the truth is you cannot buy any of these things on any market. ShopRite don't stock any of these things. All right. The second thing I want to talk about is associations.
Okay.
The truth is association matters. I've come to learn that people will do business with those they like and trust. It doesn't matter what you know. If no one knows about it, or people in power, the corridors of power, know about what value you can bring, your gift will die. So people will do business with those they like and they trust. Someone needs to like and trust your ability to deliver. And this is one of the things that you cannot take away from your journey. So as a young person, one of the things you need to have at the back of your mind is associations. Okay. Talking about associations, it has the positives and the negatives. I'll share with you a short story. When I lived in South Africa, I used to travel around a lot for MTN when I worked with MTN Group SA. Okay. And in one of my journeys, usually I would leave on Sunday afternoon, travel to one place, work the week, travel back on Friday night into an all-night, do my laundry in the morning, rehearsal in the afternoon, Sunday, and then drive straight to the airport. That was my life for like 3 years.
Wow.
And one Sunday, I had closed from church, drove to the airport, parked my car there, got my luggage, and was slouching in one of the, airport seats. And then one guy came to sit next to me. While he was there, he met a friend. I think they were colleagues in high school. And you know what it is like when you haven't seen someone back for almost 20 years. And you can see the vibe, the energy, and they were going at it up to the point that I really felt that these guys were disturbing. But hey, what can you do? Yeah. But while they were chatting, the flights were being called. While they were on it, the flights were being called until it was our turn. I think we're flying to Nelspruit or Bloemfontein. Okay. So they were calling, and then it got to our turn. Then they said Nelspruit. Yeah. So I got up and got my, my bag and started walking. So the guy sitting next to me is obviously going to where
you were going.
So he stood up and said, "Hey, Mfana, you know what? We'll meet up. I'll call you when I come back to Josie. Let's get to it." So then he now came to realization that the place was almost empty. Yeah. Then he asked his friend, "Oh, did you hear them call Durban?" So, Durban left about 20 minutes ago. Wow. Now, immediately I walked off. The Holy Spirit, ministered something to my spirit. I'm sorry I'm bringing this in because that's the reality. Yeah. He said that it is a risk to keep company with people not going where you're going. Oh, wow. You will miss your flight. Wow. And it was so splendid. I never walked away from that truth. Wow. It is a risk.
That's deep.
Keeping company with people not going where you're going, you will miss your flight. Many people hang out because, hey, Charlie boys, you know that stuff, and young people do this a lot. Charlie, it's Friday night.
Let's go there. Let's go there.
The truth is, we don't have the same assignment. Yeah. Your journey must determine the level of investment you make in it. I read something about Bill Gates and whether he watches TV or not, and he said he barely watches TV. Maybe in an airport or in a hotel, he might have a minute or two, that's about it. Because what he makes, raw materials don't come from Asia for him to produce. What he creates comes from here. And for him to do that, he must spend a lot of time thinking and creating. My journey is not your journey. And that is why it's important that I must be able to understand how I associate and liaise with the people that I hang around with. Association matters. All right? So even if you are not careful and you cannot choose your associations, you wouldn't be able to even choose where you sleep. Yeah. Someone got drunk and they put her in a wheelbarrow and dropped her in front of her gate. association matters, right? So one of the things that I think we young people, singles, whether you're a guy or a girl, a lady or a gentleman, it's ideal for you to understand that associate with the right people, people who will push you towards your dream, people who will push you to do the right things. There are some friends who will say, Charlie, you know what it is, Charlie, this girl, for happy, you know, Charlie, the girl, they feel you. It's good. But then you need to ask yourself a lot of things. What people don't understand is that there are some relationships you don't walk away from. There are some people, when they walk into your life, you are dented for life. No matter who you are, it takes something away from you. That recovery, it's a journey and a half. That is why it's important to understand the kind of associations you build around for yourself.
Fantastic.
Maybe the third thing I want to add is building or developing habits.
Okay.
All right? One great mind I always read from said, sow a thought, you reap an act. Sow an act, you reap a character. Sow a character, you reap a habit. Sow a habit, you reap a destiny. So many people believe in predestination, that because I have come to, maybe spiritually come to God, it's settled, you know, it's done. This is where I will end up. No. God predestined paths. He predestined decisions. When you take those paths, you will end at those destinations. When you decide you're going to Kumasi and you hop on an assignment bus, I promise you, I don't care how much, you're not getting there. So paths have been predestined. Decisions have been predestined. When you make the decisions, you will end there. You cannot be healthy if you keep eating junk. So no matter how much you are predestined and you keep eating junk, you're calling it for yourself. So people must understand, Kwabna Osei-Duah is not predestined. My choices and decisions will decide where I end up. So it's ideal for you to understand that build certain habits in your journey. Build certain habits in your character. That helps to bring you to the place you intend to get to. And these are the things that you need to understand as you journey through life. So as a young person, remember, build certain disciplines. I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said that discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, and they can be able to conquer even the biggest of armies. Discipline. A lot of us don't have that discipline. People think that a gift is enough. People think that opportunities are enough. No. Discipline. One of the things that can be able to create anything. There's always an argument in the sports circles about Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Messi, we know, is talented to the brain. Ronaldo, not so much. But what Ronaldo has, has made him the player of the century. That closes the argument for good. Is the fact that the guy is disciplined. Supremely disciplined, as you said. And this is what that a lot of us must be able to understand. Yes, learn to say no when you have to. Learn to say yes. Stand for what you believe. Deny yourself sometimes of certain things. You know, let me end on this, sharing the story of a young lady I mentor in Kumasi. You know, this is one of the most brilliant young ladies I've met. She came from Obuasi to school in Kumasi, and when she arrived, obviously life is tough. No dad, mom supporting here and there. When mom doesn't have, because she also doesn't work, it becomes tough. Then she decided, I'm going to change my life. Guess what? When people are paying for, you know, nice hostel accommodations and so on and so forth, she decided I will do something different. She picks that money and goes to Togo or somewhere to bring goods, sell to the students on campus, and starts making money. She refused to buy herself a bed. She slouches on her bag and puts some dirty clothing on the floor and sleeps on it. Today, she's running her own restaurant while on campus. She runs her own restaurant, sells to the same students, and does the things she wants to do. This is what I call a person that is disciplined to her assignment. It's ideal that as young people, we must build some of these resolutions for ourselves that helps us to achieve our goals.
Fantastic. We have a couple of messages here. In fact, there's one message here. It says, good morning. I like your panelist for his deep word for today. His words are strengthening me. Thanks a lot. This is Paul from Senya Breku. Thank you very much, Paul, for sending that message. And if you're watching as well, you want the number to send it to 0550-585-832 if you happen to be touched by anything or you have a question for our guest today. Kindly send your message that way. If you're outside Ghana, kindly prefix that number with +233. Now, the issue of your career. How important is your career in the resolution-making process?
Okay. All right. So that is actually number 5 on my list.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought it up. We are here for a purpose. No matter what you find yourself doing, I think that it's ideal that you attach every urgency and importance to it. I think I read something that Efia Pokua of UTV had written that if she dies and comes back, she doesn't think she wants to come back as a journalist. And then someone said exactly my thoughts, that Efia, you're not dying to come back. So whatever you need to change,
do it now.
Do it now. If you are in a business or a career that is not working, change it. I mean, I studied Shiakete in high school.
What's that?
Or building construction.
Okay.
Shia is sand, te is stones.
Okay.
You know, so humorously we say Shiakete.
Okay.
You know, I studied building technology in high school.
Okay.
And then I went on to do marketing, a bit of computing here. Today I find myself working in the niche on performance, customer experience, which bridges a bit of almost everything that comes into it. But this is what I enjoy doing. I love to train. I love to speak to people. I like to empower.
Okay.
This is what I enjoy doing. Now, should I be doing something else? I would have loved to play soccer, but obviously I don't have a path in that at all. Oh yeah. I would have loved to play soccer. Kofi don't laugh at me like that. Yeah, you know, but yeah, that's the truth. Now, when you talk about career, it's ideal you understand what you're here for.
Okay.
There's something you're good at. We are not good at everything. Today, there are some things when I mention, something will pop into your mind. There are some sports. When I mention, a name will pop into your mind. When I mention golf, you remember one guy, Tiger Woods. When I mention basketball, you'll remember Michael Jordan. You know, there have been people in the game, but there is something you can be good at that no one can take away from you. Discover that, because that is where you will find a fulfillment in life's journey. So your career comes to play. Maybe you haven't discovered purpose, but definitely do something that can also help you to fulfill the different obligations you have. So whether you are an architect, accountant, an artisan, whatever you find yourself, and more importantly, develop yourself to do it well. We are very used to or fond of being shabby and shallow at whatever we do. Meet a producer, a camera person. You know, I've been doing a lot of study during this pandemic, staying at home, and I realized that some of the things that I do is actually a joke. There are people that are doing it to the highest levels, creating the maximum impact that millions are benefiting from. My next question is, what do I do to get there? What do I do to become what is out there? And this is what is ideal. Someone may or fixed a WC in someone's home and locks the door to the WC that the door cannot close. He leaves it and goes home and was asking for his money. You're not serious. But this is the nature of sometimes the people we have. Go to a mechanic. They will take a part of your car, put something there, put some of the screws, and they leave the rest. When you ask them about it, they'll tell you, oh, But the engineer that created that knows that you need 8 knots to tie this down. You put 4, and you're telling me, you know, so people approach their career and their business, their life anyhow. And at that point, you will not be able to benefit much out of it. Develop yourself, develop your skill, because there is no substitute for skill.
So more questions are coming through. Question for Reverend, please. Kindly ask him this. As a leader, how do you keep your team continuously motivated throughout the year whilst avoiding burnout? This is Kwesi from North Kaneshie.
This is a tough question, and I can draw easily from my leadership of my teams, not from the business. For the business side, you have no issues. Because in the business side, there are structures I put in place. All right, so there are performance improvement structures that businesses, leaders must understand and implement. The truth is that part of your planning of motivating should have elements of entertainment, relaxation, and fun. God is the strongest person maybe the universe has seen. Yet, he worked for 6 days, and rested 1 day. I'm saying this because it's ideal to understand. Even those 6 days of work, he sat on a seat and spoke, let there be, let there be. Speaking for 6 days, he took a whole day off. There are so many people who think that driving people to work like slaves means they are productive. I can tell you, there is something we call churn. Paying for unproductive hours during productive time. People can come to work for 9 hours, 1 hour lunch break. So let's say they work for 8 hours. But guess what? The productive hours within those periods is actually 4. The rest of the 4, other things are happening that you are paying for, that means nothing. Our mentality about work, even today, is what happened after the Second World War during the production orientation. So when people talk about going to work, it's the factory setting. Get in at 8, go to lunch at this time. But within the period, you and I will know that by the time it's 2, 3 o'clock, people begin to wind down.
There's
redundancy. And this is where it's ideal that organization must change their approach. So for you to motivate your team, insert some of those things in there. Have a proper strategy of letting them, sometimes when you know they are burnt out, take the time away, relax, come back refreshed, and put in more time.
Fantastic. So, I mean, today we have a lot of questions. God really richly blessed your guest. I'm touched. I was so down yesterday thinking about life. He has re-energized me. God bless you. Can I have his number, please? He'll put it out in just a little bit. So keep watching. I love him so much. Keep giving us more insight. God bless you, Citi TV. What can I do to be different? This is Maxwell from Manfe Achimfo. What can I do to be different?
Truth is, you're already different. You already are. You just need to be you. The problem is trying to fit in and trying to be like everyone. I want to talk like David. I want to be cool like David. Because our community encourages being cool. One of my bane in life was trying to please everyone around me. And it took a lot out of my life. Today, I curse those days. I wish I was more like my cousin, who was very out there, outspoken, energized. Sami Amano, if you're listening to me, big up to you. Oh, yeah, he's got energy, enter places. I picked this up later. Truth is, this is who I am. I love to talk. I love the energy. But the compliment from family and friends is, oh, and those things actually put chains and shackles on you.
They do.
Be you. That is the truth.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you're a loud talker, fill your mouth with enough good things so that your loud talk don't become trash for people to hate it. But people would love to hear your talking all over the place. And that's one of the things you must understand. So be you if you need to be different, because your uniqueness is built in you, and that no one can be like you.
All right, Maxwell, you heard him. This one is coming from C. Medal from Sunyani. He says, in fact, we need this man to preach his words in churches across Ghana because this is the work of God. Okay. Hello, your guest is a real beneficiary to me. I'm a young person who wants to make things on my own. I'm very grateful for his thoughts. May I have his contact? This is William from Dome. Yes, William, we're going to put it out just a little bit. I'm Kojo in Kumasi. Today, you have impacted my life very much. Thank you for your knowledge. I would like to contact you more for more information. Good morning, Citi TV. Please, I would want to ask that a person without a job who wants to get a job next year, what are some of the things that he or she should consider? This is Bright from Kumasi. I think we'll wrap up on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bright, if you're looking for a job, I don't know what job you're looking for, But my company has posted a lot of openings, maybe about 15 job openings, out there for some of our clients that you can be able to apply. But beyond that, get yourself prepared to apply as much as you can.
Okay.
That is one bit.
Okay.
But another bit you can do is to volunteer your time. You see, I said something. People will do business with someone they like and trust. When no one knows what you've got, they are not really ready to trust you with it.
Okay.
Sometimes show them. Me being here at Citi, I walked into a friend and said, hey, I would love to share a bit of my thought. I came in once, and beyond that, the need for maybe a bit of value I can add is seen by someone who says, can you bring him back again?
Yeah.
Can you bring him back again?
Yeah.
A lot of young people want to be paid for everything. People fail to serve, and they fail to actually not understanding that sometimes doing good to people is actually a way of letting people know what value you can add.
Yeah.
So it's ideal to understand the magic of volunteering. Walk into a company, don't pay me. I want to offer 4 or 5 hours of my day, 3 times in a week, just to be able to add value.
Yeah.
You gain the experience, you gain the opportunity to network, and beyond then, you also show your ability to add value. And that can add something to you.
Fantastic.
These are a few things I think you can do.
Fantastic. So we have a few more. Let me just go through some of them. Good morning. This is Abasa Joshua from Sege Ada. This program has educated me so much. God bless you very much. Thank you very much, Joshua. God really bless you. I'm so inspired by this message. It's so inspirational. This is Elliot Salah from Volta region. Thank you, Elliot. Hello, I am enjoying your live program for Burkina Faso. Okay, so you see we're going all the way up there. All right. This will definitely make my day and change the way I behave. This is Frederick Diasongo. I hope I pronounced your name right, Frederick. Thank you for sending a message all the way from Burkina Faso. I love this program, most especially the topic that we are treating. Please, I want to have his number so that he comes to lecture the youth in my church. Well, you can contact him in just a little bit. We'll put his number out. Reverend, I appreciate watching and listening to you. Most people find it difficult to discover themselves since the environment plays a major factor. How can this be done possibly? This is McLeod from Ziavi. Yes, so I think the question he's asking is how do we overcome the environment, to discover who we actually are?
Okay, maybe just to add a single thought on this. Many of us at where we are unable to change the environment, but you can change you.
Okay.
It's ideal to understand that fact. I grew up in an environment where I couldn't change my parents. I can't. I don't even have that power.
You can't change your parents.
I can't change the family. That's where I am.
Yeah.
But I needed to change my mindset and approach. So many people would say, oh, I didn't have a dad to take care of me. I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a dad. And they bring their life to a shut close.
Yeah.
Someone picks it up and says, no way. I want to do something for myself. Your environment will do its best to provide you what it can. My opportunities in Ghana were limited to certain things. Going to the United States and living in South Africa opened me up to other opportunities. Okay. So your environment provides you certain things, but with limitations. Some household in Ghana would open you to certain things. When you live in certain homes, oh yes, there is a lot of no's and one yes. So your environments are there, but that is where your personal mindset towards your journey is important. So for that young person who asked, it's ideal to understand that you need to change you.
Yeah.
Understand what your belief systems are, what your value systems are, and work towards achieving those goals.
Okay. So Malco Stability says, good morning, Citi TV. Thank you for having my papa this morning to enjoy what we have been enjoying at Family House Chapel. Well, you are blessed to have him there. Now, this one is a question. I think we can wrap up with this particular one. This is coming from Takrade. And good morning. I am Yao and unemployed. I have a pig farm of 15 pigs, but I'm broke. How do I put things together to make a better life next year?
Yeah, I wish I could have a better understanding of the situation. Because the question is, how do you put things together to have a better life? What I need to understand is, what do you mean by things? Number two, if you have a pig farm, I don't understand what you mean by broke. Are they, piglets that cannot be sold? What's the condition? So maybe a bit more questioning would help me to advise better.
Okay, fantastic. So how can people find you? How can they reach you?
On social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. You can find Benny Osei-Duah. Benny Osei-Duah. Right. So Benny Osei-Duah on all those platforms I've mentioned, you can find me. But also you can WhatsApp or call 0500 200 944.
Okay, so can you say that again?
0500 200 944.
Okay, 0500 200 944. Thank you very much. You've been speaking with Reverend Benny Osei-Duah, who is a customer experience, HR, and performance consultant.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.